here is Orb on the outside. Orb and Joel Rosario take the lead with a 16th of a mile to go in the Kentucky Derby. Orb is out in front. Java's War is absolutely flying. In fact, it's Golden Soul, but it is Orb to win the Derby.
It's back in 2013, Orb completed the Florida-Kentucky Derby double, and not quite a stablemate, several years apart, but Shug McGahee going to look to pull the trick again with Greatest Honor. Some similarities to Orb, some not, and to talk about those is my friend and colleague Scott Shapiro. And Scott, before we get to the picks, impossible to deny that this race goes through Greatest Honor.
Absolutely, Ed. An impressive winner of both the Holy Bull and the Fountain of Youth. He stands out on paper in this spot. Thought it was worth mentioning, haven't heard much discussion, but no one's ever won the Holy Bull, the Fountain of Youth, and the Florida Derby. Tiz the Law, Barbaro, they won the Holy Bull and Florida Derby, skipped the Fountain of Youth. Mohaymen, who was a top 3-year-old at the time down there, won the Holy Bull, and the Fountain of Youth was defeated by Nyquist in the Florida Derby. And Orb, who we saw in the Open, won the Fountain of Youth in Florida Derby, but raced in an allowance event, didn't race in the Holy Bull. So Greatest Honor trying to do what no one else has done, and he certainly is a standout on paper.
Would be an impressive hat trick indeed, but I think he's a little up against it. I said after the race, if it looked like he did take a step back on some certain speed figures, he'd be tough to back here as the favorite. And I'm going to have to stick with that at 6-5. As the waters get deeper, in my mind, it's going to be tougher to win like he did last out. Now, one thing I do think is interesting about Orb, again, Shug McGahee training like Greatest Honor is he actually ended up being a little closer to the pace as the races got longer, which makes some sense. So I am interested to see where Greatest Honor plots, so to speak, here in the Florida Derby. But again, at a short price, I am looking elsewhere on top.
I was hopeful to find another horse that I liked to take a chance at this, but I don't even think this field's tougher. I mean, the new shooters in this field coming from other places or that have not taken on Greatest Honor, Spielberg, who I thought totally took advantage of a biased racetrack in the Oakland where the outside and off the pace was the place to be. In the Southwest, you have Collaborate, who was very impressive in that runner-up performance, but he stretches out to 2 turns, takes on winners for the first time, and now has to race off Lasix, which to me is maybe the most important thing. And then you have Known Agenda, who hasn't been able to prove that he can run at this class level. He also got Lasix for the first time last time. In addition to blinkers, he'll run without Lasix. So I just don't like anybody else in this spot. It makes it tough to, fall on a horse at odds on that you don't really want to play, but that's where I landed on. Hoping he runs off the screen and I can beat him in Kentucky.
Yeah, it is the final leg of the mandatory pick 6 at Gulfstream. Turfway also has one. More on that when we get to the Jeff Ruby Stakes. I landed on Collaborate. Just kind of like that big step forward. You mentioned the Lasix. That's the price I'm willing to gamble that he can move forward off that maiden score that got a big speed rating. And then from a total bomber perspective, I thought Soup and Sandwich, maybe a horse you could hook up even with the Greatest Honor. If it came Greatest Honor and Soup and Sandwich, you're still doing okay. But I thought this horse has looked good in both of its career starts. The mile and 40 at Tampa, you could question how that fits with this group. But Johnny V up for Mark Casse, I thought was interesting, and Soup and Sandwich has a long shot look to me.
Yeah, should be involved early. Another horse that'll try running off Lasix for the first time. But when you're getting that kind of price, I understand it. I might play a cold exacta, and I think number 1, Nova Rags, a horse that I liked in the Sam F. Davis, proved that he can get the distance, should get a good pocket trip. Not a ton of speed signed on in here. So I think I'm going to roll with Greatest Honor over Nova Rags in the Florida Derby this year.
All right. Scott's on Greatest Honor. I took Collaborate. Whoever you take, remember to opt in to that TwinSpires promo. It's a $25 win bet. Plenty of points still up for grabs on the leaderboard if you want to try to make a furious run. But obviously, if you've already participated, you want to keep it going. Good luck.